Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Demonic here, bringing you another in-depth pitching video. This video is about meters. Now, before I get into the video, I'd just like to remind you guys, please, if you like the video, leave a like. If you like this kind of content on MLB The Show or any game, I'm going to be getting more gaming videos. Please subscribe. Right now, I'm addicted to MLB The Show, so that's all I'm doing. I do, got to do what you love. And right now, I love MLB The Show. So I'm doing this at the beginning of the video because I always forget at the end, and it always makes it awkward, like, oh, before I go. I'm not doing that anymore. So let's get into this video here. I'm going to be going over the meters. Now, if you didn't know, which I'm sure everyone knows, if you go to Options, Gameplay, you can change your pitching interface, right? So you have Pulse, you have Meter, you have Classic, and you have Pure Analog. I'll go through them all, how to use them, and which one I think is best. It's all personal preference, really, but I think if you master one of these, it's by far the best one. But first, I'll go over Pulse. Now, one thing if you're using Pulse, it starts on default. I'd set it to Classic, and I'll talk about why right now. So you just pick a pitch, right? You pick your location. Now, you see the pulse, it's a circle that's pulsing. Now, without Classic, you don't have that little white outline, so it makes it harder to see. It's just the pulsing shadow. So against the black background, like you see my catcher's wearing a black pads, it's harder to see. So with the outline, it makes it easier. So the goal here is, with the pulse, is you want to get the circle as small as possible. That gives you the most control over your pitch, and it'll put it where you want it to. So if I release it too big, it's not going to go down the middle like I want it to. But if I get perfect timing, which I hope I get right here, or else I am an embarrassment to my family and to the gaming community, oh, that was not good either, but it's better. You see, it's more accurate. That was down the pipe. It makes it a lot better, a lot easier to control your pitches. So this is, if I had to rate this one 1 out of 10, this is the meter is probably a 7 on the pitching scale. Really, none of them are bad. I'm not even, ignore the 1 to 10. Ignore the 1 to 10. It's all personal preference. But to me, this is a medium. It's easy to use. It's you don't have as much control over your pitches, though. That's what I don't like. So I'll go over the next one, which is my personal favorite, the meter. You go to Gameplay, and you switch to Meter, right? Now, Meter is my favorite one. This is the one I use. This is the one I've learned to use, and this is the one I'm trying to master. Now, all right, I don't know why he did that. That was bad. All right, so here's the meter. Now, when you press X to start the meter, after you choose your pitch, you press X to start the meter. Now, the further you let it go, the faster your pitch is going to be. That's how much velocity you're putting behind your pitch. And then you want to try to release it on that line that you just saw, right? So here's the thing about the line now. Let's say I do this. If I release it early, he's going to release it early like a real pitch. So it's going to go high. He's releasing the ball too early, so it's going to go high. So releasing it early, you're just going to have a higher pitch, right? So if you have a tendency to release early all the time, you might want to lower it. So now if I go down here and I release early, he'll just bring it up into the strike zone. So depending on how you play the game and your personal style, you want to take that into account. Now if you release it late, it goes lower. So if I release it super late, it will go super low. All right. Now with the velocity comes a harder meter. So the harder you're throwing it, the harder it is to get it in the middle. I didn't even try there. But as you can see, if I release it there, it's way easier to put it in the middle. So less velocity, more accuracy. More velocity, less accurate. So it's all up to you. On a fastball, I want as much velocity as I can, especially with Aroldis Chapman, who has the record for the fastest pitch in Major League history. Okay, so I like this one. You have control over your speed. You have control over the location, early, late. It's all controlled. Okay, not really much up, much up to chance. Next one we're going to take a look at is Classic. Now, Classic is by far the easiest one to use. Classic is just put the ball there and let it go. No meter, no nothing. So if you don't want to bother with a meter, you pick Classic. Just want a nice quick game. This is the quickest thing to do. You choose your pitch and you put it down. Okay. Now the thing with the Classic meter, you can control your velocity. So after they play defense for some reason, All right, so to control your velocity, you pick your pitch, and after you pick your pitch and you choose your location, hold down the button. You'll feel a vibration, and when you feel that vibration, that's you putting all your velocity into it. Okay, you can let it go earlier. The longer you press it, the longer you hold down the button, the faster it's going to be. So you can hold it down, you can tap it, and he'll just throw the ball, super accurate throw, or you can hold it down and he'll throw it with more velocity. It'll be less accurate though. So this one's the simplest one to use if you don't want to deal with pitching with the meters and you just want to have a fun, quick game with your friend or something. You'll choose this one. Now the last one gives you the most control. The last one's pure analog, gives you the most control over your pitch, and this one is probably the best one if you can master it. Hardest to master, but gives you the most reward and the most control. Now I'm really not that good, but I'm going to go over the basics on it. So, in this one, you're choosing your location just like the other ones, but to throw, you're using your right analog stick. So you're going to bring your right analog stick down to start the meter, and then push it forward to throw your pitch. So you're pulling it back and pushing it forward, just like if the right stick controls your pitcher's arm. Okay. So the goal though is, if you're moving it here, if you can see on the meter, there's a little target, right? So if I'm moving left to right, the target moves left to right. So when you're going forward to get the accuracy, you're going to pull down on the stick and push forward. I didn't do it, but you're going to push forward in the direction of that target. Okay, this is what makes it hard, but it gives you the most control over your pitch. Okay, so if you're pulling down, you don't really need to move it. If you master this, you just need to pull down and push forward. See, right side throws a pitch to the right. Next one, it'll throw a pitch to the left if I push the stick to the left when I'm throwing the pitch. And the same as with meter, if I release early, it's high. So I can throw high and to the left by releasing early and pushing my stick to the left. Or I can release low and to the right by releasing late and throwing it to the right. Okay? So this gives you the most control. You don't even need to, when you master this, you don't need to move that ball at all. You just need to use your stick. And that's where the reward comes. But obviously this is easier. Okay, so mastering this is probably the best thing to use, but the hardest to master. Gives you the most control over your pitches, and you're not leaving anything up to chance like with the other meters. It's just you and your skill. So these are all the meters. You find yours, you use them, test them out, find which one you like best, which one works for you. Just like everything, if you master your version, the way you play the game, you'll be good regardless. So it's up to you. So this is the meter video. The next video I'll have, we're going to go through pitch types, how they move, when to use them, which ones are good, which ones are bad, and all that stuff. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please, again, like, subscribe, making it awkward. I know I did this in the beginning, so ignore this right now. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time for another in-depth pitching video. Later.